believe technically I'm ready to begin. Thanks everybody for being here. I'm really glad you're here. John is with us in spirit. He had a family, an uncle pass away. So he's with his family right now, but he is on our video tonight. So he is here too. I just love this art. I've been practicing for many, many years, since about the year 2000. So over 23 years now. And it's really changed my life and changed a lot of lives that I've been able to share it with, and those of our animal companions. So that's our hope with these groups, is that you take whatever you learn and feel inspired to practice it on yourself and with any animals that you have the opportunity to. Most of the folks on this call know the background of Jinshin Jitsu, but we also are recording it for those who may not know a lot about this art. The direct translation of Jinshin Jitsu is the creator's art through compassionate man, human. And that's all of us. We all have the capability of sharing and practicing this really beautiful, beautiful art. And tonight, we are going to be focusing on the anchor steps of 2 organ function energies that help with shoulders. So this quote from Mary Burmeister, who brought Jinshin Jitsu to the US from Japan, says that we don't focus on disorders. We focus on 0 to 26. There are 26 safety energy locks. This is the answer to all disorders. Remember, each number has its own inner meaning and purpose. A safety energy lock, I'm going to stop the share here. Safety energy lock is a spherical focal point of energy in our bodies. We have 26 on the right side and 26 on the left side. That's in all beings. And it's the size of our palm or our animal's hoof, paw, claw, whoever we're working on. So it makes sense that it's the relative size. The thing that is key for me to remember is that these are spheres of energy and they can move. This is where Jinshin Jitsu really differs from acupuncture, acupressure, where those are points of energy that they focus on. So with Jinshin Jitsu, I call it a tennis racket. The sweet spot in a tennis racket is really where our focus is. And each of these 26 safety energy locks, as Mary says, has a specific focus and meaning. So it's like a circuit breaker box where, you're not going to flip the circuit breaker for the dishwasher if your washing machine has gone out. Likewise, in our bodies, each of these safety energy locks have specific purposes. So the technique used in Jinshin Jitsu is you can place your hands on any of these 26 safety energy locks and things will happen. Energy will move. You don't need to know about it. Or you can really dive deeper and understand what the functions are of each of these safety energy locks to help our understanding and knowing where to put our hands, simply to be more efficient. No matter what we do, Mary says, the only thing you can do wrong is not to put your hands on safety energy locks. So no matter what we do, we're helping. Sometimes we see the results. Sometimes the results are invisible, but the results are there. And the best thing that I do for myself is to eliminate my expectations when I go into a session with a human or an animal client, and just see where the magic leads. So I know that we all have a tendency, especially in this day and age of everything needs to happen quickly. It does happen quickly. We love instant gratification. And so we want the recipe book. And in all my years of study, I've created a recipe book of what safety energy locks, what holds, what organ function energies, what flows should I use to be the most efficient in addressing a certain disharmony. And that's a way to approach it. And it's not a wrong way, but by being with our animals, what I've found, and through working with Adele and her reinforcement of this, just by being with the animals and the safety energy locks that my hands are drawn to at a particular time, gets me out of my head in that recipe book and pulls me into whatever that being needs. So that's a huge disclaimer for a session that we've prepared to talk about shoulder projects. So, it just works. As I said, no matter where we place our hands, what our focus can be is to be most efficient. And we learn from our teachers and we learn from our own experiences what are kind of go-to flows for helping certain disorders. So, and in Jinshin Jitsu, we call them projects. So for certain projects, we go with certain flows. So let me go back to my slideshow. So the two go-to flows that I think of when I think of shoulder projects are the small intestine flow, organ function energy, and the gallbladder, organ function energy, excuse me. These are two very, very simple flows to do with our animal companions. And as you can see there for the small intestine, there's only one step shown there. These are multiple step organ function energy patterns. But with the animals, holding the first step, the anchor step, as it's called in Jinshin Jitsu, is very often all we need to get that snowball running down the hill, rolling down the hill, to create the avalanche of harmonious energy, getting going again. With the animals, keeping it simple is the most important thing because they're onto us. They know if we're flipping through books and, trying to figure out what I should be doing next instead of simply just being lovingly with them. So by focusing on the anchor steps in these two flows, we can help shoulder projects. And I'm going to talk tonight about a Ward, a foster puppy that we had, who had puppies on our back porch during COVID. Okay. And I'll tell you about her story in a little bit, but she has shoulder projects. So she's our demo dog for tonight. So for the small intestine flow, it's very, very simple. And I generally start with the 10 and 13. So my palm is right below where, or it's on the 13 that's showing there, but in the center. And then my other hand that's shown there on the 11 is back a little bit further. So picture being back a little bit further and then just coming up to where the shoulders would be on an animal. And then the 13, you just move to the opposite side. And we're going to practice this self-help. So I talked about the meaning of safety energy locks. So what do these safety energy locks mean and what is their function? Safety energy lock 11 is about unloading excess baggage. And you can picture that, we get tight in our shoulders, and that's where we carry a lot of our baggage. Animals, not so much. Their shoulders are more vertical than ours are horizontal. So they unload baggage much more easily than we do. But that really is the function of Safety Energy Lock 11. Safety Energy Lock 13's function is to love my enemies. So let's put those together. Just feel how that feels in your body. I'm unloading the baggage of hating. More positively said, I'm unloading anything that's holding me back from loving. So this is facilitating me loving everyone, including my enemies. Safety Energy Lock 11 is an ascending Safety Energy Lock. That's facilitating the energy coming up the back, and that's the spine side there of that skeletal dog. 13 is helping the energy to descend down the belly of the dog there. So very similar to 10 and 13, 11 and 13 is also facilitating that natural pattern of the breath, which is the basis of Jin Shinjutsu and many of these ancient healing arts. It's facilitating that breath from going down the front on the exhale and up the back on the inhale. And by placing our hands on the 11 and opposite 13, this is facilitating our shoulders really dropping and just letting go of the stuck energy that's there. So that's the small intestine. The gallbladder flow is Safety Energy Lock 12 on one side and Safety Energy Lock 20 on the other. And some animals really don't want their forehead touched. So if that's the case, we always have handy substitutions. And instead of holding 20, I can hold 2. So I would be holding 12 on one side and the top of the hip on the opposite side, or same side, pretty much. Sides don't matter so much with the animals as we attempt to do with the humans. So Safety Energy Lock 20 is about everlasting eternity. Isn't that beautiful? Everlasting eternity. You just picture this beautiful thing. And it really is in the position of where our third eye is. The center of 20s is where that third eye is. So when we think about everlasting eternity, it's, can I see the future? Can I see clearly what is really important? Safety Energy Lock 12 is not my will, but thy will. So that too is another letting go. Let me stop taking control or trying to control. So if I can release my 12, my animal's 12, who's resistant, who's trying to control what so little they have control over, and help them to see everlasting eternity, then again, that energy will flow in the harmonious way that it's meant to flow in our bodies. So let's take a few minutes and practice, do some self-help. We'll start with the small intestine, and you can hold, I'm going to stop the share here. You can hold same side 11, which is for us, it's really at the base of our neck, but you can just hold it there. And we're not going to be there for very long, so this works. But if that's not comfortable, then you can reach across and just hold your hand on your neck. And then your opposite 13, which is 3 ribs down, and that's higher than it seems to be. You have a little rib hiding behind your collarbone. That's 1, 2, 3. You can hold your own. And again, this is the size of your palm. Just really relax. Feel around if you have a sore spot, or I have a lot of muscle that I prefer to call it muscle rather than tension in my shoulders. So that's a good spot to hang out. And then lighten your touch, because you're more likely to feel the pulse, which is the indication of energy in that safety energy lock, when you have a lighter touch. So just sit there for a few moments with this light touch. You can close your eyes. And picture your breath on the exhale going down the front of your body. Really focus. Watch it. Watch it like a cloud floating in the sky as your exhale breath goes down the front of your body. Tips of your toes, it becomes the inhale as it comes up the soles of your feet. Backs of your legs, all the way up. Feel that breath. Watch that breath. Feel gratitude for that breath. Watch that cycle of breath as we think about holding these safety energy locks that are bringing more love, less baggage. We're dropping our shoulders. We're letting it go. On the exhale, we let anything that doesn't serve us go away. Why do we hold on to that? We don't need to figure it out. We can just let it go. And on the inhale, we're bringing in that love, new light, appreciation, gratitude, and the air which we need for our bodies to circulate and heal themselves. Now you can move that hand that's on your shoulder up to the side of your neck. It's not very far away to hold the safety energy lock 12. It's just at the side of your neck, to the side of your spine, out to the side of your neck again. Feel what is comfortable for you to hold for your personal safety energy lock location. And then your other hand goes to the opposite 20, right above your eye on your forehead. And we carry more tension in our faces than we realize. So once you find that sweet spot on each of those safety energy locks, really relax. Deepen your breath. Feel the sense of community with this group being together, practicing self-help together. What we practice on ourselves is going out into the universe. So we're looking for that everlasting eternity while we give up our need to control. And again, we're letting it go. These are such short sessions, so when you're ready, you can gently release your hands. And feel where you are right now. Feel, what does it feel like to practice just a little bit of self-help individually and collectively? It's powerful. So this state of bliss, is it not letting me share? See, we get into self-help and then my technological skills go to pot. It's like, Okay. Back to the slides. We do have number substitutions if you can't reach for whatever reason. This is in the beginning of Adele's book on page 11 there. And yeah, it's quite obvious, I think, quite evident about how the number substitutions work for the safety energy locks. So let's talk a few minutes about Bay. I lived in Hawaii for a long time near Kaneohe, and there was a bay there called Kaneohe Bay, and so we called it K-Bay. And it just so happened 3 years ago in March, a friend of mine was fostering this sweet dog here on the left who, she called me Saturday morning from the vet and said, this dog is about to have puppies and I have no idea what to do. And so John and I said, well, bring her over. How hard can it be? We'll let her have her puppies on our back porch. So that did happen. You can kind of see them. They are up here in this little kennel. Thankfully, she only had 2 little terrorists. They were crazy little pups. But she was heartworm positive. So her breathing was horrible. Poor thing. And then to labor and to have to nurse and all of that was really, really hard on her body. She had several cysts in her body that could not be addressed. Yeah, she had a lot of medical issues and was not real keen on being a mama dog. Thankfully, the gal who adopted her has become a really, really dear friend. And so we get to see her human mama and Kay more often. And we got to babysit her for about a week, a little while ago. And so here she is emptying Max's toy box, caught in the act. You can see how slim and trim she is, how healthy she looks. She gets a little bit of Jinshin Jitsu, but she just loves it when she gets it. So I just have to show you this little monkey here. I mean, this is a happy pup, man. And it's just this whole energy of the love that she has around her. When she came to us, she was a foster. She was a street dog, and nobody in the foster organization, the rescue organization, even knew she was pregnant. This poor girl just was really abandoned. And we gave a lot of Jinshinjutsu when she was in our house. Didn't end up being only the back porch. Mary, as you know, these things never come out as planned. We turned half of our bedroom into a nursery, the back porch, and then we cleaned out a spare bedroom so that we could move these monkeys back and forth and clean out the other room. So it was quite the adventure a few years ago. So anyway, she's without babies now and a happy girl. So John is practicing on her, and you can see she's about as good a demo dog as Adele's dogs. And you see she's smiling. This is just the craziest little girl. So he starts with 10 and 13, and now he's moving over to 11, and he's still on center 13, but he's close there. She's a small dog, and he's on her 13s. And she's like, okay, no, I really want you to come over to this side a little more. And they reposition themselves to where they want you to be. I have the volume muted because in the background, you can see our dog Max's head pop up. He's in the backyard barking during this video, so I have it muted. There he is, making a cameo appearance. She's alert. You see her eyes are open. She's relaxed, swallowing. Now he's switching over to the other 13. And more focused on the 11s. So when we practice this, we're letting our fingers do the walking, right? Our knowledge leads to intuitive touch. Where is the best place? Where is that safety energy lock sweet spot that is best for this little girl? So she's squatty, as many pit bull breeds are, and loves to be up and down on furniture. So that's why she has front shoulder projects. So he tries one way to hit that 20. And it's really important that we are comfortable giving these sessions, because they'll pick up on that as well. And then we won't practice it if we're uncomfortable. And there's usually a way to get comfortable. So he's on the side of her neck, safety energy lock 12, and then her on her left 12, and then her right 20. She doesn't love that as much. And she's done. That's it. So that is K-Bay. She is definitely a Jinshinjutsu success story, a pleasure to continue to work with and share this art with. Yeah, and it's a pleasure to really be able to know this art well enough to feel the confidence to share with these special beings. So that's the story and sharing and self-help that I wanted to present tonight. We're a few minutes over, but if anyone has any comments or questions, there are a lot of practitioners online, other faculty members. Anybody have any input about shoulder projects or small intestine or gallbladder you'd like to share? You can unmute. And
I just had a quick question about the heartworm positive. Did she get past that?
she did, yeah. They did, can't remember, we were doing slow kill for her, and then they did the shots. Yeah, that was pretty traumatic for her to get through, but she's good now.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So when she was going through that was a lot of lung flow to facilitate her being able to breathe.
Okay.
They're in there attacking the heart organ, but
Yeah.
it exhibits itself in the breathing. It was pretty traumatic.
Yeah. I've heard it's pretty nasty. I'm glad she came through it. She's very cute, very sweet. Thank you.
Yes. Anyone else? Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming on a holiday week for those of us in the US. And we will see you again. The next session is on the 20th, 2 weeks from now. Same bat time, same bat channel. Keep this Zoom link, and thanks for coming back. Good night.
Thank you, Jude. Love you guys.
Hi, Amy.
Hi.
Love you. Bye.
Thank
Kate
you.
says hi as well.
Hi, Adele.
Hi there.